Welcome to our Labor Day special, The Last of the Clipper Ships, Part 19 and Part 20. Well, last time we left our heroes, Clark Kent had become the master of the Clara M. Well, that didn't quite matter to Limey, who basically saw a chance to cut a deal with Teak Barnaby. And what they've agreed to is to escape the ship and to head out to find the treasure themselves. Well, before we go ahead and get into the show and find out what's going to happen next, I want to encourage you to check out Laser and Sword magazine to take an adventure. Isn't this been a very interesting 20-part series? We have gone at seas and sailed the world this summer without even leaving our home. And that's the type of adventure brought to you in Laser and Sword magazine, as our heroes traverse strange alien landscapes and dystopian futures. You can experience it all. Check it out at lasersword.adamsweb.us. Check out our store, lulu.com/lasersword. Now, without any further ado, The Last of the Clipper Ships, Part 19.
Presenting the transcription feature, Superman! Up in the sky! Look! It's a bird! It's a plane! It's Superman!
And now, Superman, strange visitor from the planet Krypton, who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men, and who, disguised as Clark Kent, star reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle against crime and injustice. Jimmy Olsen and his newfound friend, the stowaway Pug Flanagan, are in grave danger aboard the Clara M as she moves slowly southward through a thick fog. In our last episode, we heard how Superman turned the tables on Teak Barnaby by taking over the ship and throwing Barnaby in irons. Barnaby, in possession of a treasure map, intended to sail the Clara M to the treasure island and find the treasure for himself. With Superman now in command, it seemed that Barnaby would be foiled. Then a radio message was received saying that two tankers had collided in the fog some 20 miles away and were sinking rapidly. Superman was forced to leave the Clara M and go to the rescue of the sinking ships. And then, as our last episode ended, the villainous sailor Limey entered the hold where Barnaby was locked in irons and... But wait. Listen. Now here's me plan. I'll set you free. Together we open the seacocks of this here dub, scuttle her so she sinks fast, and then we get away in an open boat, taking the treasure map with us, see?
We'll have to get the map first. Kent's got it.
We'll get it. Then we'll row to the mainland. With the map in our hands, we'll take ship for Sumatra, and after that, there's 100 ways of getting to that there treasure island, eh?
It's a good plan. All right, come on. Up to it. Get these irons off me. In a hurry.
Oh, there ain't no hurry. Let's take our time, I says, and do a thorough job, eh? There now.
I got a better way of sinking the ship.
Huh?
If we open the seacocks, it'll be discovered before the Clara M has time to sink.
What's your plan?
Well, there's a couple of cases of dynamite aboard.
Dynamite?
Eh? I had it brought on board before we left Metropolis.
Dynamite?
Figured I'd need it if we had to do any blasting to get the treasure. Well, it'll come in handy for another reason now. We'll use it to sink the Clara M.
Oh, I think I see what you're up to. And a good idea, says I. Lay a time fuse to the dynamite, say. Get away in the open boat, and then, after we're gone, the old tub will blow up.
He's quick to catch on.
All right.
There now. Shake a leg with these irons.
All right. There, they're off.
That feels good. All right. Let's get started.
Huh?
You say you got a boat all provisioned?
Aye.
Then the first thing we've got to do is to get our hands on that treasure map.
Oh, and how are we going to do that, eh?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, that map must be in Clark Kent's cabin.
Huh?
That Superman fellow took the map away from me. But he said Clark Kent would be master of this here vessel till he got back to Metropolis. The way I figure it, Superman must have given Kent that map.
Well, then, come on. Let's get to Kent's cabin and see if we can find it. Find the map yet, Barnaby?
No. Keep looking. It must be somewhere in this cabin.
Why don't we strike a light?
No, be a fool. We're lucky enough to get into Kent's cabin without him being here.
Aye.
strike a light and somebody's bound to see it.
Wait a minute. Off now.
Huh?
Bloom and fold, that's what we are.
What do you mean?
Well, that map wouldn't be here. If Superman made Clark Kent master of this here vessel, that map is probably laying safe on Sandhorn this here minute in that little safe in the captain's cabin.
A little safe?
Aye.
Why didn't I think of that? Aye, Limey, you must be right.
Course
Come
I am.
on. We're going to the captain's cabin.
Quiet, Barnaby, quiet.
Aye.
That wooden leg of yours makes too much noise.
Well, I can't help it. What's that? What's up?
Look there. Scotty and the two lads, Jimmy and Pug, is on the bridge. There ain't no one in the captain's cabin.
That's funny. Where's Kent? He's supposed to be master of the ship.
We won't worry about Kent. Come on. Let's get into that cabin and investigate that safe.
Hey, right with you. Quiet in the name of heaven, they'll hear us.
Some oil on these door hinges wouldn't hurt. All right, here we are.
And there's the safe. It's lucky I know the combination. Haven't been captain myself for a few days.
Up to it, then, and get that safe open.
Easy does it, my friend. I'm still in charge here, remember that? I'll give any orders that's to be given.
Well, I'm sorry, sir. Really, I am.
Aye. Now, let's see. 4 left to 14. 3 right to 82.
Hurry.
2 left to 24. Back to 65. There.
Huh?
She should open.
And she does.
I'll let you know. The safety it. This neither. And this also. Well, Limey, we're right. Here it is, right enough.
A piece of old silk, eh?
Hey, the treasure map.
Get on, give it to me.
Never you mind. I'll take care of it.
Oh. Very well.
And now that we've got it, only one thing remains to be done.
All right, I'll get below and set a fuse for that dynamite.
Aye. And don't let's waste any time about it. Come on.
Having found the map which will lead them to the treasure, Teak, Barnaby, and Limey go below decks to set a time fuse which will blow up the Clara M. Meanwhile, miles away, speeding through the thick fog, Superman rushes to the aid of the sinking tankers. Listen. Faster. Even now I may be too late. The radio operator said the two ships were sinking fast. I'd rather it hadn't been necessary for me to leave the Clara M, but with Teak, Barnaby, in chains, there shouldn't be any trouble. Jimmy and Pug Flanagan are perfectly safe, I'm sure. There's no need to worry. This job shouldn't take too long, and then I'll return to the Clara M as quickly as I can. Wonder what Editor White will say about that treasure map when we get back to Metropolis. It may mean... Wait. There below. The sinking ship. Down! Those ships are going down fast. And they can't launch their boats. A good many of those men will lose their lives if I don't save them. This is a job for Superman. Down! And so Superman reaches the scene of the wreck and goes to the aid of the stricken ships. Meanwhile, on the bridge of the Clara M, Jimmy and Pug talk with Scotty, the new first mate, unaware that in the hold of the ship a time fuse is burning slowly toward 3 cases of dynamite. Listen.
No, for the last time I tell both you lads I don't know what's happened to your friend Clark Kent. You'd be knowing more about that than I would.
But, Scotty, the last time we saw him, he was with Superman. Superman came into that dungeon below deck, broke Mr. Kent's chains, and took him away.
Well, your Mr. Kent wasn't with Superman when that there fancy dress fellow took over the Clara M.
Yeah, Superman told you Kent was going to be captain, ain't that right?
And so he will be, lad, when he turns up. In the meantime, following Superman's orders, I'm taking charge of the Clara M.
You say we're steering our course for 2 tankers that collided 20 miles from here?
That we are. Thinking rapid they are from what the wireless messages tell us. I doubt we'll arrive in time to save them. Let's hope there's a faster vessel than ours standing nearby to save them.
I sure hope so.
There, lad, 'tis best not to upset yourself about it. 'Tis the way of the sea. There's many a ship's gone down, and many a sailorman gone down with her. And every sailorman in time learns to take such things philosophic-like. You live and you die by the sea, and you... Here, I'm talking too much, I can see that. Let's turn our thoughts to something pleasant, like that there treasure map, eh?
Hey, that's something, ain't it? When I stowed away in this tub, I never thought I'd get mixed up with a buried treasure. And maybe you won't. Scotty here says Superman gave orders to turn back to Metropolis.
Yeah. Me, I'd give my right arm to be sailing off of the Indian Ocean. Any place but Metropolis. I sure hate to be going back to that burg.
Say, why did you stow away, Pug? And why are you afraid to go back to Metropolis?
Pal, if you had my old man,
You
you wouldn't...
shouldn't talk about your father that way.
He ain't never been no father to me. Why, that guy when I was... Listen,
Scotty,
if you knew it...
hey, Scotty, listen.
Here, you, it's Mr. McTavish from now
All
on.
right, Mr. McTavish, then. Listen, something funny's happened.
Eh?
I just found one of the lifeboats is missing.
What's that? One of the lifeboats missing.
Yeah, more than that. The missing boat made me suspicious, and I had to look at the next boat.
Hey, well, what about it?
Somebody stove a hole in it with an axe.
Eh? What are you talking about?
I'm telling you straight, every lifeboat's got a hole stove in her. Every single one of them.
Hey, gosh, man, it doesn't make sense. One of the boats missing and the rest of them with holes stove in them.
Barnaby.
Eh? What's that, lad?
Barnaby. He's escaped. I know it.
By heavens, the lad's right. It's the only answer. You there.
Aye, sir.
Get below to the brig where you can put Barnaby in irons.
Aye.
I know to be still there.
I can answer that, sir.
Eh, what? Who are you?
Come up from below. Went down to bring Barnaby some food. He ain't there, sir. He's gone. Limey's gone with him.
Limey?
Yes, so that's it. Limey helped Barnaby escape, and then they made off in that lifeboat after breaking holes in the rest of them so we couldn't follow them.
But why would Limey help Barnaby escape?
The treasure, lad, the treasure. Limey hoped to get past it. Help us.
Now what's the matter?
The map. They wouldn't make off without first getting the treasure map. Come on, boys. We've got to get to the captain's cabin right away.
Oh, here's the cabin, but...
Look, the safe. It's been broken into. The map's gone.
Well, I guess there's no doubt of it now. Barnaby's escaped and taken the treasure map with him. Gosh, if only Superman was here. Or even Mr. Kent. They'd know what to do.
I wish they were here, too. Because I don't mind telling you I'm all at sea. If I only...
Gracious day, what was that?
Explosion. Below decks.
What's happening? What goes on here?
Barnaby's work, I'll be bound. Now I see it if you don't. Now I understand why those lifeboats were stove in. If those explosions are what I think they are, we'll be sinking any minute. And we can't do a thing to save ourselves. Not one blasted thing.
Look out.
Flames. Flames shooting up from the hole.
Aye, fire. And I was right. Lads, we're doomed. Doomed. Without lifeboats, there's not one thing we can do to save ourselves.
Barnaby and Limey have done their work well. With the lifeboats rendered useless and the Clara M going up in flames, what can save our friends now? Be sure to hear the next thrill-packed episode of our story with Superman.
Tune in the next thrilling installment of the transcription feature, Superman. Up in the sky, look!
It's a bird!
It's a plane! It's Superman! Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine.
Avast, mateys, what treachery! I mean, seriously. I had thought of Teak Barnaby as a kind of Long John Silver character. Long John Silver was kind of an anti-hero, but Teak Barnaby here, he's just going way over the line into nasty villainy, blowing up the whole ship. Long John Silver would never do that. That would be way beyond anything he would think or consider doing. He might kill one or two people, but the whole ship, no. That's Teak Barnaby ranks a lot lower than Long John Silver. But that's a pretty big turn. Now we're going to find out if Superman's going to get back in time to save the ship. So let's go ahead and we will find out right now in The Last of the Clipper Ships, Part 20.
The transcription feature, Superman. Up in the sky, look!
It's a bird!
It's a plane! It's Superman!
And now, Superman, strange visitor from the planet Krypton, who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men, and who, disguised as Clark Kent, star reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle against crime and injustice. Excitement runs high on the Clara M, last of the old clipper ships, for affairs have reached a crisis. In our last episode, we heard how Teak Barnaby and Limey, having gained possession of the valuable treasure map, deserted the Clara M in a lifeboat after breaking holes in the other lifeboats with an axe. To ensure their escape, they had also set a time fuse connected with several cases of dynamite. As the last episode ended, Barnaby and Limey had succeeded in escaping when suddenly explosion after explosion shook the ancient vessel and flames shot up from the hold. Superman, unaware of the danger threatening his friends, was miles away across the sea, saving the crews of 2 tankers that had collided in the fog. Our scene is now the Clara M. Listen.
Now I understand why Barnaby and Limey stove in those lifeboats. If those explosions are what I think they are, we'll be sinking any minute, and we won't be able to do a thing to save ourselves. That was a bad one, lads. Rocked the whole ship.
Look out. Flames. Flames shooting up from the hold.
She's caught fire, and no small fire it is either. You there.
Aye, sir.
Get the men working with the fire extinguishers.
Fire extinguishers. They'll do no good to the likes of that fire, sir.
Be that as it may, you'll do as you're told. Up to it now.
How come those explosions anyways? You carrying dynamite in this tub?
We were carrying it all right, though I never knew it till this minute. Or any man aboard, for that matter.
What's going to happen, Scotty? I heard once that the most dreaded thing on shipboard is a fire. Is that so?
No, lad. You're not to go worrying yourself about something you can do nothing about.
Don't worry. Huh. Look at those flames shooting up from the hole. They're getting worse, pal, and I ain't kidding. If the lifeboats can't be used, what are we going to do when this tub starts sinking? Figure that one out for us, will you?
Mr. McCavish. Mr. McCavish.
Aye, what is it?
That fire's all out of control. Not only that, but them explosions have blown a hole in us below the waterline. Big enough to stick your head through.
All right. Keep up to the fire with the extinguisher. Hold it and check as long as you can. Come on, lads.
Where to?
I'm going to the radio room, and I'm not leaving either of you out of my sight.
We can take care of ourselves.
You'll come with me, or I'll know the reason why. Now get along there.
Good night. Look at those flames. How long do you think the boat can last, Scotty?
We'll last until we sink. And if you think that's a silly answer, you can give me a better one. Here now. Down this companionway.
Hey, the radio room's right along here, ain't it?
Yeah, here it is, right in here.
Oh.
Not waiting for orders, eh, mister?
No, sir. I knew we were finished the minute I heard those explosions. I'm sending a call of distress.
Oh, good.
Gosh, I wonder where Mr. Kent is. I don't know what happened to him after he went off with Superman. Do you think he's on board?
Well, I don't see how he can be on board, lad. He'd have shown up before this.
Golly.
Well, have you had any response, mister?
No, sir. None as yet.
We'll keep trying.
Aye, sir, you can count on me to keep trying till we go down.
No. I'll have none of that. We'll get a chance to save your skin.
Tell me how, with the lifeboats all stove in. If I could get my hands on Barnaby and Limey...
You keep your hands on that radio key. Come on now, lad.
Where you gallivanting to now?
Up on deck to see how things are going. Come on.
Bridging the broad Atlantic, searching desperately for some hope of rescue, the wireless sends its call of distress. Meanwhile, miles away, Superman, having completed his mission of mercy, speeds toward the Clara M through the dawn.
Well, I'm glad that job is done. By using the anchor cables of those tankers, I managed to haul both of them to the mainland. The captains and the crew will never know what happened. They'll never find out what pulled them through the water with the speed of a powerboat. Well, I'll soon be back at the Clara M. Wait a minute. What's that on the horizon? Smoke. Must be a steamer of some kind. Probably passing very close to the Clara M. The minute I get on board, I'll have to reappear as Clark Kent. Which reminds me, I better start thinking up a pretty good explanation right now. Well, I can say... Hello. What's that bobbing on the water off to my right? Looks like a small boat. Funny. I'd better investigate that. There it is below me. Yes, it's a boat, all right. There are 2 men in it. Something wrong with them, too, sprawled out like that. They must need help. Down! What? Limey. And Barnaby. What in the world? Oh, Barnaby's finished. Bullet hole through the chest. And Limey. Still a little life left in him. Not much, I'm afraid. Knife wounds. They must have had a fight, these two.
Pulled a knife on me. Pulled a knife, he did.
What's that?
Pulled a knife on me. We fought. Fought hard. I got him finally. I never expected I'd have a gun, the swine. Tried to get all the swag for himself, eh? I showed him.
Limey. He's finished, too. Took his last breath. Think I begin to see. Limey must have freed Barnaby, and together they made off in this boat. Then they had a fight over the map. The map? That must be here, too. Let's see. Yeah, here it is, all right. Well, I'll just take that along with me. Now then, what to do about these two? Well, I suppose there's only one thing to be done. And the quicker I get it over with, the better.
Longer, Scotty.
Aye, lad, I know that.
If only we knew where Mr. Kent is. From the time he walked out on deck with Superman.
Hey, listen, Scotty. What'd you bring us up here on a bridge for?
Oh, I thought it would be the best place, huh?
Best place for what? What are you talking about?
Lads, I've got something to say. There'll be no chance now that we can be saved.
Hey, what do you mean?
Now, let me finish, lad. The hole blown in our side and the Clara M's burning fast. She's lifting bad already. And in another 5 or 10 minutes, it'll all be over.
Gosh.
The crew will realize that in a minute, and then, well, there'll be some of them take it hysterical-like, and some of them take it calm. But take it they must. Now, which is it going to be, lads? How will you take it?
Why, calm, I guess. Yeah, sure. Me? I'm tough.
Good lads. That's why I brought you both up here on the bridge. Somehow, going down, it'll be easier up here.
Excuse me, sir.
The radio man.
Hey, what is it?
I've had a reply to our message of distress, sir. The United States destroyer, sir, 80 miles away.
80 miles? Heaven help us.
All I could get was heading toward you at 20 knots. Will you please? And then our batteries went dead, sir.
Hey, well, it doesn't matter. It couldn't possibly reach us in time.
We're thinking fast. And still no sign of Mr. Kent. Look, a lot of the men are jumping into the water. The rest of them just standing there on deck, waiting. Scotty.
Easy, lad, now, easy. We'll all be over in a few minutes. Just look out there toward the horizon. Make believe through the dawn you can see that destroyer steaming for us.
If it only was. Boy, if we could just see that destroyer coming for us.
Listen, what was that? Scotty, the Clara M lurched forward, and I could feel her give way under my feet.
It's the end, sir. She's getting ready to go under.
Aye, let's all get ready to go under with her. Bravely, lads, bravely. We'll go down like sailormen, lads. Eh? Spread your legs and stand square up on the deck.
Aye, sir. Aye, aye.
Hands up, lads. Eyes straight ahead.
Chins up. Eyes straight ahead.
Her bows are underwater, sir.
Aye, she'll dive bow first. Any minute now. Any minute. Wait. Look there. What is it?
Scotty. Jim, look. What it can't be.
It is, Pug. It is. It's Superman, and he's heading straight for the bridge. Here he comes. Superman.
Jimmy. You people are in a bad way here.
The Clara M's getting ready to go under, sir.
Oh, I see. Here, both you boys, throw your arms around my neck and hold on tightly. You men, I'll take one of you under each arm.
But Superman, what about Mr. Kent? We don't even know where he is.
Oh, he's all right, Jimmy. I've taken care of him.
Thank goodness. But what about the crew?
They're all in the water. I'll have to help them as best I can. Quick now, hang on. The ship's going under.
There she goes. She's going under now.
Hold on. Up, and away!
What do you know? We're flying. This guy's like an airplane.
Oh, I've done this before. Gosh, those poor guys down there in the water.
I can't save them all. I can't risk your lives trying to save them.
Then drop us. Hold on to the lads and drop me and the radio man.
Wait, look. Isn't that... Why, sure, it's the plane.
Sure, it must be from that destroyer I contacted.
That's what it is, all right.
Hey, look. Smoke on the horizon. That must be the destroyer.
Yes.
Look, the plane's gonna land.
There he goes. Nice landing. Well, she'll pick up the survivors. Most of them can hang onto the pontoons until the destroyer gets here. Well, looks as if I'm not needed here any longer.
Hey, you're not going to drop us, are you?
Oh, don't you worry about that. I'm flying with you all to that destroyer. Then I'll come back here and help in the rescue. Hold tight. Here we go.
And so, this time, with the help of the United States Navy, Superman saves the lives of his friends and brings another adventure to a happy conclusion. But what of the treasure map? Will it lead our friends into new and more exciting adventures? Be sure to hear the next thrilling episode of our story with Superman.
Tune in the next thrilling installment of the transcription feature, Superman.
Up in the sky, look! It's a bird! It's a plane! It's Superman!
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine.
Welcome back. A gruesome end for Limey and Teak Barnaby. I have to kind of wonder why Limey needed Barnaby to escape the ship. But it's a realistic end, I would say. You also have to admire the Scotty McTavish a little bit. As they're going down with the ship, he's being very noble, very brave old sailor here. The one thing I've got to wonder about is didn't it ever occur to any of these guys, rather than just bravely going down with the ship, to kind of try and break off pieces of the ship and try and make a raft or something? Because this whole let's just stand on the deck and wait till we can no longer breathe kind of seems noble, but in some ways kind of stupid. But if you can get off. But anyway, I'm going to briefly review a review of this. Just a moment. James Lance reviewed the series over at SupermanHomepage.com. He's actually reviewed all the radio series that are out there. And he's going to be pretty helpful to us as we go through the series, because he's identified which ones are complete serials, which will be helpful and will save me a bunch of time having to listen to him to kind of sort it out. He really liked this series. His one complaint, Pug Flanagan. He says, am I the only one that wanted to feed Pug Flanagan to the sharks? He wasn't an unnecessary character like Tumbleweed Jones, but there's something about the little snaker that makes one want to give him a good, swift kick. Yeah, I could kind of see that. And he says, I think he's portrayed that way on purpose. It feels like the writers clearly wanted to show how two different children from single-parent homes, I'm assuming Pug's mother is no longer with his father because he only mentions his father in the story arc, are as different as night and day. I don't know if they were quite going for that. That's almost too advanced for this show, for them to be thinking that far ahead. I think that's just giving them too much credit. He says, one thing that really helps Last of the Clipper ships is that all 20 chapters move at an even pace and don't move away from the story. One problem with the previous serials with more than 12 chapters was that some chapters tended to drift away from the story and add elements that feel unnecessary for the arc's progress. The Howling Coyote and the Yellow Mask and the $5 million jewel robbery both suffer from this problem. However, everything in the Last of the Clipper ships works well together and doesn't feel like it was just put into the serials just to fill 15 minutes. And what he really liked about this whole story was the scene where Clark Kent and Superman are having a conversation back in part 18. He says that, in my opinion, only Bud Collyer could have pulled this off. The actors that followed him in the Superman role probably would not have done this as well. Kirk Allen would have done it best, and he has done different voices for both Clark and Superman. However, Collyer really makes it more believable in the theater of the mind that is radio. So, he liked the series, and I liked it too. I think this was a great series and a great way to spend our summer. And we're going to be back on Wednesday with a brand new adventure. And I'm going to post this link on the show notes today, so you can go and you can go and read the whole review. It was very nice to find this James Lance. To know that we're not the only ones who've been listening to this, and to get a second perspective. I thought that was pretty insightful. So we'll continue to talk, check back with James Lance when we get through with the series. But that's it for this episode of the Old Time Radio Superman. You got any comments, please feel free to email me, adam@adamsweb.us. Check out check out our homepage, lasersword.adamsweb.us. From Boise, Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham, signing off.